Good morning. I'm Cam Ling with Eagle News. Today is Thursday, March 13th.
And employ more than 250 people, but that's now a bust.
The Georgia Southern Athletics Department spent their Saturday morning helping serve the Statesboro community at Feed the Borough.
Georgia Southern students are looking for housing, and they're having some issues.
Still to come on Eagle News, protesters take to the streets. Statesboro residents bid on various items Saturday at the Statesboro Humane Society silent auction.
With over 25,000 students on campus, Georgia Southern is trying to tackle this housing problem.
That's all for today. I'm Cam Lang.
Freshmen at Georgia Southern are required to live in on-campus housing, but after that, they have the choice to find off-campus housing or apply for on-campus through the student housing portal. I talked with Georgia Southern freshman Sebastian Hano on his experience with the process.
We're all able to get our laptops together and fill out our information and invite one another to a specific group so that we could all be roommates for next semester. And it was all pretty easy, just took a matter of minutes really.
Off-campus housing is what most upperclassmen end up going with around 76% of GSU students living off-campus according to the housing office. There are over 330 apartments for rent according to theapartments.com, with houses also available for rent in the Statesboro area. Students that do not find housing in time are forced to look at areas outside of Statesboro, making commuting to campus more difficult. I know applied for housing at Cambridge, one of the off-campus units that partner with Georgia Southern to provide student housing. Apartments like Cambridge, the George, 111 South, the Connection, and the Hamptons allow students to apply and find housing through Georgia Southern's off-campus living resource.
The wait list for Freedom's Landing, it was packed, so I was not able to get an application through in time for next semester. So we all figured that living at Cambridge Palms would be a lot better.
This is a problem for a lot of students wanting to live in on-campus housing. The wait list can be long and some students can't wait for a place to live. At Freedom's Landing alone, there are more than 1,000 students on a wait list. Hino said he will only be paying $525 a month for housing next year, giving him a cheaper option with the same amenities included.
With over 25,000 students on campus, Georgia Southern is trying to tackle this housing problem with their new $60 million apartment complex called Charms on Georgia Avenue.
This new building will bring 250 units with 636 beds, expecting to open in the fall of 2025. While this will not solve the housing problem completely, it will help and bring more options for students to choose from. Some students have been living off campus for multiple semesters and prefer it that way. I talked to sophomore Benton McManigal, who is a resident at the George Apartments.
The only really negative thing about this is that I'm paying rent every month now, and I mean, it's not crazy expensive, and my mom's helping me, thankfully, but, that's just something you got to work with, so.
McManigal explained on-campus housing is paid all up front, and his off-campus is a monthly payment. He says he pays around $700 total a month for rent and utilities. The event is held for athletes in their second year of school to decide what area of study they are going to pursue, as well as their plan for life after their collegiate athletic career.
Apex is amazing, and so is Glenn setting everything up. It's just a way that we can express what we want to do after college because we're more than our sport.
Going pro is not the reality for every college athlete. This is why Georgia Southern created the program Apex to help students, athletes navigate through their degree and plan ahead for their life after sports.
And basically what it is we wanted to do to get them to start thinking beyond the playing days. They come to school, play for 4 years. Their identity is within their sport. So we want them to experience and think about what's beyond the playing fields.
APEX stands for Athletes Preparing for Employment Experiences. The program was started 5 years ago and has evolved over the years according to Hart. APEX provides student athletes with services to help them be more successful in their academics, like building resumes and finding internships. APEX also helps student athletes develop a professional plan that follows their degree.
The whole purpose of tonight's event is to have our sophomore student athletes start thinking about their futures beyond the playing fields. So basically the task they had at hand was basically to go up on stage, say their name, sport, major, and state their career aspirations.
More than 73 athletes were recognized at the ceremony, as well as 7 different departments in attendance there for the respected athletes. The event had 4 guest speakers, Athletic Director Chris Davis and Morris Bank Commercial Banking Officer Brandon Smith, as well as former Rifle Team alumni Annalise Riley and current Student Athlete Advisory Committee President Alex Suk. The speakers talked about the importance of achieving excellence after college and how the event marked the start of that journey. I'm Cam Lang for Eagle News.
Coming up on Eagle News, individuals were tased at a city hall where Marjorie Taylor Greene spoke at, and
I'm Javon Adams. Closure at the Vault Apartments in Statesboro is affecting residents. I have it all coming up next.
also, it's Autism Awareness Month. Our reporter Daisha Hayes looked into it. Eagle News starts now.
Good morning. I'm Sky Taylor with Eagle News. Today is Thursday, April 17th.
And I'm Deja Hayes reporting live from Sanford Hall at Georgia Southern University.
The Masters tournament in Augusta took place this weekend, and Northern Ireland golfer Rory McIlroy won his first green jacket after facing off in a playoff hole against Justin Rose. The sweet moment of victory was a long time coming for the veteran golfer after coming up short in previous Masters tournaments throughout his career. Onlookers in the crowd shared their sentiment after McIlroy sank the 4-foot putt to win the tournament. After McIlroy's win, he became just the 6th golfer ever to win a career Grand Slam. Statesboro residents of apartment complex The Vault are scrambling to find somewhere to go after being told to evacuate.
The vault was deemed unsafe after structural issues were discovered with the buildings. Javon Adams has the details. Javon.
Daisha, Sky, a private structural inspection took place on behalf of a third party at the Vaulted property. And after reviewing the findings, both the property and its residents are in jeopardy.
Residents at the Vault Apartments in Statesboro are left stunned after receiving a letter on their doors to vacate the property by the end of the week. And after just paying April's rent and receiving the notice in just little time, residents were left questioning the next step.
That just added a little bit more stress to me, and it's really inconvenient because I hear we only have till Friday to move out, and I know there's people that's like out of state, live 3 hours away or whatever to where they got to move to, and now they got to scramble to figure out where they're going to put things, where they're going to move to.
Thomas and Real Engineering Consultants conducted an inspection on the vault. They notified the city on their findings and considered all buildings on the property as dangerous.
There's a porch across the way from our apartment, and their porch just went down the other day. It came, it just fell all the way out. There's stairs that are unsafe. The vault as an apartment complex is unsafe as a whole, and I guess that's why.
The city chief building official put the vault management on formal notice on April 4th with a letter stating that they had 10 business days to respond with the plan, which they have yet to do.
In this plan, buildings in the vault must be deemed as safe by a structural engineer. And because of the many structural problems, businesses and families on the property are feeling the aftermath.
Just trying to talk to a bunch of people, so I'm calling all the apartments, I'm taking time out of my job or whatever, so it's really they took my rent and I'm losing money not working, so yeah, I'm just scrambling right now, really.
In response, various resources in the Statesboro community have stepped in to support residents, offering things like temporary housing options, free healthcare services, and even free meal programs.
The Vault's management did not want to speak to our cameras. However, the city of Statesboro told me that they are not speaking on the Vault until they get an update on their plan. Daisha, Sky, back to you.
Thanks, Javon. 2 people were tasered Tuesday night at a town hall where Marjorie Taylor Greene was speaking on behalf of Donald Trump. This is what happened to one attendee who police say was being disruptive. He reportedly booed Greene as soon as she started talking. There were only 150 people at the event, and most of them were Greene supporters. Greene, who represents Northwest Atlanta suburbs in Congress, answered only pre-screened questions that her people put up on the overhead. The ex-husband of Marjorie Taylor Greene has donated $75,000 to 3 Muslim students he verbally accosted. This is Perry Greene hurling Islamophobic slurs at 3 women who were praying in a parking garage in Avalon on March 31st. 4 days after the video went viral, Greene reached out to the woman to make amends. He said it was inexcusable. The $75,000 settlement is $25,000 for each minute he's captured on video. And another aviation accident took place last Thursday when a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River in New York. The New York City sightseeing helicopter broke apart mid-air, which caused it to crash down into the river. 6 people were killed in the crash, those being the pilot and a Spanish family of 5 who were touring the city. Parts of the helicopter have been pulled from the river over the following days to help investigators determine the cause of the disaster.
Some financial relief for Georgia families. The state's Board of Regents voted Tuesday to keep tuition and fees flat at most public colleges for the 2025-2026 school year. 18 of the 26 schools in the University System of Georgia will not see a change in cost, while 6 will see increases and 2 will see decreases. On average, in-state undergrads will pay about $6,466 for 2 semesters next year. Since 2007, April has been known as Autism Acceptance Month, a time dedicated to spreading love and support to autistic individuals. The Student Accessibility Resource Center educated students at the Russell Union last week to spread awareness and promote support for students with learning disabilities.
Autism acceptance is more of accepting people for their differences and their neurodiversities. So while awareness just brings up the idea, gets people familiar with it, acceptance really encourages people to just go a little bit further past awareness.
This year's focus on acceptance happens alongside federal efforts that could reshape or even eliminate the U.S. Department of Education, a move that could impact critical protections under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, which guarantees support and accommodations for students with disabilities. To show support for Autism Acceptance Month, people are asked to wear red and show kindness and patience. Still to come on Eagle News, the tariff conflicts continue. This time it's the European Union, not China. And
I find out how local businesses are trying to stay proactive in fighting the tariffs implemented by Trump's administration.
But before we head to break, here's today's Georgia trivia question. What year did Georgia lower the voting age from 21 to 18? The answer when we come back.